Chapter 887. Something Daddy Loves the Baby.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another big ol' episode of the Podcast. I am the best guy ever, and this is Hypocrite.
This is me, Hypocrite.
Indeed.
Yes.
Hypocrat.
Chapter 887. Somewhere, someone is wishing for your happiness. That's what it says on Gemini's
If only that
box.
were true, but I'm so lonesome. No one gives a fuck about me. I ate the no one gives a fuck, no me, and now I'm sad all the time. What do you think about that?
What would that do? Would it be like a bubble around you where people just stop caring?
Exactly. Yes, no one cares. It's very sad. This, I'll get that cut out. I'll get that removed later. But anyway, so we got the cover arc here. We're back to the arms and leg boys, and in a hilarious turn of events, our buddy Ideo has just sailed away and left the arm and the leg boys together on a desert island or something. And they're gonna die if they don't work together, probably.
Yeah,
This is good.
I
like
think it
this.
was like it's like a bait and switch. Like they're saying,
Yeah.
we don't care if you kill each other, but really they're looking to force them to work together by leaving.
Well, I mean, these guys, like, they got onto this ship to... Okay, so, like, I'm just checking back, like, the last couple of cover arcs, cover things. So, like, they encountered these guys on the high seas having a fight, as I recall. They just jumped in and beat up both sides just because they felt like it. And, of course, they are a tribe of, like, Ideo has the long arms and Bluegilly, or whatever his name is, the long leg boys. So they beat up both of them. They noticed this is the war going on between the legs and the arm boys. And then they just, like, they're on an island. They're, like, building a ship. And then these guys take the ship and leave? I don't know. Like, they had a ship to begin with, so they didn't, like, need to build themselves another ship. Or maybe they did. Maybe it got destroyed in the battle. I'm a little unclear as to
I think
what...
they forced the other guys to help repair it, and then they just sailed away. And
But
they're
why
like,
do they... Okay, right. But I wouldn't understand any reason for them to... Like, this whole time it seemed like they actually don't give a shit about the conflict between these two tribes.
Well, that's why I think it's a bait and switch, because there's no reason to have the setup
Right.
of these two and actually just leave them.
I think they're
part
going
of
to
it is
accidentally... I think they're going to accidentally settle the race realism of these two tribes. I think that's
accidentally
what's gonna
or
happen.
like deliberately by stepping back and
Accidentally on purpose? Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to say? Yeah.
something
Okay.
like that.
Well, that sounds good. But I like that they just don't give a fuck and they just leave them there. But I'm sure this will be cool. I look forward to seeing more of this cover arc. I like it.
I really like the skull and crossbow, cross leg arm at the top.
Oh, yeah. You see, this is the first time the two have come together to form a swastika on screen. Doesn't that look like a swastika a little bit?
yeah,
Totally
just
does.
a little bit.
I guess I see what I
bend that
want to
thigh.
see in the end. Yeah. Well, they're teaming up to die together on this island. It's going to be very fucking funny. So let's get to the chapter. Here we go, everybody.
Yes. So, Master Oven, the oven boy, got shot in the fucking face, but he's okay.
It's pretty sick, though.
And they're all being like, "Oh, how you're surrounded? What are you doing? You cut your there's nothing you can do, Captain Beji. Get fucked." But they didn't account for the fact that his fucking ship is a literal fire tank. It's got tank legs.
Oh, it's cool. It's a Land Rover. It's a amphibious vessel, kind of like those. You ever see the duck boats that like are like tour guides drive, where they just like drive around cities and they're doing tours like San Francisco and like Providence and shit, and then they'll just be driving. They're like, oh, now we're going in the water, everybody, and then they just drive straight into the fucking water, and then it's a boat.
And then they all die.
Pretty cool. Well, yes, that it's also a suicide hotline. It's excellent. This is pretty cool. I like it. I think it's interesting. Gives more personality to the... We have seen that Beiji himself like has like tank treads he can deploy sometimes when he wants to move real fast, and it's cool that his ship does too.
It's
I like
it's
it.
nice that the fire tank is like
A literal
the
tank?
pirates is like it has cannons, it fires. I mean tanks fire on their own. But
Yeah.
it's a cool name, and it is actually applicable because they have tank things.
And also, I don't know, this is a small point. It's just that, like, I like that they don't, like, hype up this as if it were super duper cool. Because just to shit on my boy Jinbei one more time, like, as opposed to, like, Jinbei's thing is hyped up as, like, the coolest thing ever. Instead, here for, like, half of, like, just, like, a full 1 page or, like, 1.5 page, they're just like, yeah, our ship's amphibious, cool. They don't, like, dwell on it or act like it's, like, more impressive than it actually is, given what we've seen about One Piece. It's just like, oh, shit. Their ship is also a tank. That is neat. Yes. We don't need to pretend like we're impressed like we do with fucking Jinbei turning a fucking wheel. But okay, that's enough. Did you see in the comments somebody said, like, guys, I love it when you shit on Jinbei. I'm counting on that. I'm counting on that.
Doing it for that one guy.
Yeah, it's for you, buddy. I love you.
I do want to say, like, just generally aesthetically with the fire tank pirates, I like that Beji and his ship and, you know, all that stuff is, like, it's not just, like, castle themed, it's, like, castle turret themed, like, castle and tank sort of, like, combined.
The fire tank pirates have a very clear visual aesthetic, and actually, you know, my favorite moment of that was, like, you know, remember earlier in the arc when like the Straw Hats, like, go to, like, so, like, they're in Whole Cake Island, but within Whole Cake Island is, like, the little like house of the Capone pirates, and, like, that place is clearly visually distinct from, like, the Whole Cake Island, like, cake thing. It's like castle and, you know, like, tank and tough looking. Yeah, they've got a really clear visual aesthetic, and they all look like mafia guys, and I really, really like them. They've gotten a lot of flavor, and frankly, I'm way more impressed by Capone than I ever thought I was going to be. You know, since, like, when we first met the 11 Supernovas back in Shabonee Archipelago, he was by far the least visually impressive of any of them. And so I think things have gone really well.
It was just because he was sort of like an older man character.
He's like a fat,
like a
schlubby
dumpy,
dude. Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to remember, but, like, that was like 8-9 years ago that Shabonee Archipelago happened. I was just a little sprout back then. It was like, ooh, I'm gonna read me some One Piece. I like the cool guys. I like this guy. Ooh, Killer is cool. He's got a slashy blade guy thing. He's my favorite.
I like Killer
a lot.
and Law. Because they had
gross.
Shut up. He had a big sword and a hat, and that's what's you need.
I liked Law too. You know, I just want to say real quick. It's totally true that Law, like, completely changed his personality over the time skip. Is that not? Would you say that's accurate? Because I think
don't
he
even
definitely
remember
did.
him having that much of a personality to begin with, because he was just
He was so much more. But like, the first thing he ever does is literally smile and flip off a dude. That's like the first thing he does, and that was like cheeky and cunty. And I like, no one has ever flipped anyone off before in One Piece, at least that I can remember. And Law did it, and it had like the tattoo of the word death on his fingers. He was using to flip off Captain Kidd, the man with the highest bounty of any of the supernovas. And he was cheeky and funny, and now he's all grimdark and shitty, and I don't like him anymore. But hey, that's life. That's life.
Yeah. Anyway, the tank drives up on the beach, and he's
so smug, that Capone. I love it.
Yeah, and Oven is like, "Oh, I didn't know you had that," and Capone's like, "Yeah, you idiot. Why would I tell you? I was planning to betray you. I was keeping my secrets. It's smart."
So slick.
And they planning to get Chiffon and save her and the stuff. And they get the cake at the same time. Sanji kicks that fucking thing right up on the deck.
Yeah, he sure does it, and everyone's very impressed. Everyone's very impressed by this, and I suppose it is impressive because that cake is very wobbly. You got to watch out for that boy. He'll float away.
It's one of those moments where it's like physically, if you have enough, if you well, obviously that, but like
yeah.
It's so, like, if you have enough force to lift that at that speed, put into, like, the size of a shoe point.
Oh, right.
It's like stabbing it, but apparently no. As long as the shoe is flat, you can do that.
They got shonen rules, you know. There's like it's like RPG rules. Like there is slashing damage and then there is blunt force damage, like in shonens. And Sanji's kicks are very much blunt force damage, as opposed to Zoro, who's very much a cut slashy boy, as opposed to piercing damage, which is a different thing as well. But yep, they got the cake. And everything's groovy.
They did it.
And they got Chiffon too. She's back with her family, which is honestly really fucking cute, and I love it. I really like Capone and his fat, hideous wife and their hideous little baby freakish son. I legitimately care about them as characters. I really like them.
I'm getting used to seeing a baby with stubble on his top lip. He is cute.
I love Capone and his little freakish family, and I hate Law. I hate this is how you do it right. You don't give him everything that could make a character cool. Capone is a weirdo. He's gross. He's fat, but he's also just got a great personality, and he just surprises you with his cool sneakiness and capabilities. And he's not like everyone sucks his dick about how cool he is all the time. He just does shit. I don't know, man. It's just like Capone versus Law is the ultimate like how to do a character right versus wrong. To me, at least post time skip. But hey, what can I do? What can I say? I love Capone. Really like it.
Yeah. So Oven is like, I'm a badass, so he gets crushed by the tank, which is it's pretty good. He's got flaws too.
Also, Pudding
Oven's
is
better than Law.
It was Oven. He literally is. I hate Law. Law. Oven is way better, and you know why? It's because the characters don't all suck Oven's dick. He just comes out and he does his shit, and no one stands around and talks about how great Oven is all the time. I mean, they do a little bit, but it's not on the same level. It's not the same level. Also, Pudding is like nose bleeding everywhere about how cool Sanji is. That's cool. Though I'm actually getting a little bit tired of that joke, so I'm hoping they just move along with that shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm trying to think of like how they could do that better.
Just not. You don't have to show like Pudding reacting to everything that Sanji does. Really, that's the thing. It just like takes up a little bit of screen time, and it's like I get it. She loves Sanji. I got you, fam. Oh, I love her
just
little baker outfit.
Just divorce him already.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're cooking up a plan to get to the sea now. They've got the cake, which is what they needed, and presumably they have the whipped cream and chocolate frosting and whatnot. So they just got to get that motherfucker to Big Mom now and frost it on the way.
Yeah, they're driving through the town, smashing stuff, and then there's Pound Boy, there's Big Dad.
Yep, Big Dad.
And I like the fact that the baby recognizes for some reason. It's just like, genetic code. I understand this. I
said before that I like am getting really into Capone and his family, and now. Pound is the grandfather of this and is, Lola's dad, Capone's father-in-law. And this scene of, like, his little baby grandson who he legitimately cares about and is just, like, so happy to see him, like, happy and living life that he doesn't even know his name. He just saw him far away, but he's just happy to see him. This is legitimately fills me with happy, fun, good times. I feel good about this. Really like these guys. It makes me happy to see people being happy. But anyway, so they flee to the sea, and they successfully have gotten their ship off this gay old chocolate island. So they did it, guys. There will be no more complications. Everything's looking good. Until
the fish happens. The oven guy, he's got his oven mitts in the oven in the ocean, and he's heating it up.
He does have oven mitts, doesn't he? That's hilarious.
I guess he does. I'm wondering about like. I mean, obviously it doesn't really matter because it's just like he's just putting his hands in.
Whatever. Yeah.
But like C would like reduce his powers because he's a devil fruit boy, but he has to put it in the sea.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter too much.
Oda has said previously that, like, remember when Khalifa... Okay, like, people, like, Oda has confirmed that just, like, sticking your arms in just standing water is the same effect as the sea. And one time Khalifa, when she was fighting Nami in Eni's lobby, was just taking a bath. And Oda said that, like, you lose about as much power in your body as, like, the percentage of you that's underwater. So, like, realistically speaking, I'm sure Oven here is losing some amount of like power. He's like, ooh, I'm getting a little unsteady because I'm putting my hands in water. But it's only a little bit of his hands, and he's a big boy, so he's probably pretty okay in general. But that is a good observation. I had totally forgot about that. Sometimes it's easy to forget about this whole like sea is the weakness of devil fruit users thing because it like never comes up anymore.
It's not like I look for contradiction. It's just like
I do.
Every so often I'm like, oh yeah, wouldn't that weaken them? Because the times it's happened before.
Mm-hmm. And incidentally, so like this heat is like serious fucking shit. It blows up the paddles of their ship, and they're like in serious danger of actually being destroyed. So imagine how hot this shit actually is.
Yeah, and
it's
how
gotta be
quickly
roasting.
it traveled. It's like,
Yeah,
like
that
that's
too.
an insane heat power.
Yep, this guy is really strong, and I'm glad to see this because we haven't really seen his power do anything up to this point. So it's
Yeah,
pretty
and
cool.
I like how it's like distinct from a fire power or a magma power,
Yeah,
because it's creating heat in things that you can't set on fire, like water.
You know, that's a really good point because those kind of differences add a lot to the flavor of the characters, and yeah, you're absolutely right. That's really cool to see. But then we get and actually there's an additional danger here because like the cake. And the chocolate and the whipped cream are vulnerable to heat and could get fucked up. So, danger is happening right now.
Slightly
But-
overcooked.
Yeah, well, that's it's life or death at this moment. This is a cooking battle. But then little Pez is crying out because he senses something happening, and we see our hero Pound. Okay, so like Pound here jumps out and attacks Oven and totally distracts him. And this is like okay. So, like, it's one thing when a character who's really, really powerful, like, stands up against someone else powerful. Like, when Luffy fights Doflamingo to, like, save a kingdom, that's a certain kind of heroism that I greatly respect. It is a different thing entirely when someone who is weak and knows how much less powerful they are than somebody else stands up. Like Kobe at the very beginning of the One Piece standing up to Alvida. That takes a serious kind of courage. And Pound here, standing up to Oven here, defending his daughter, his baby grandson, who he doesn't even know the name of, and attacking Oven to distract him, to bring the ire upon him. This is serious fucking heroism, and this got me fucked up. This is real shit. This guy is really, this is it. This is his moment to shine, and he fucking nailed it.
Yeah, it's weird because like this whole thing that happens after this, you know, he distracts them and they manage to get away, but he just stands there and he's like, well, I did my part and I'm happy that my grandson is okay and that my daughter is okay and that they're happy and stuff.
Yeah.
But it even though I knew before that he and Chiffon hadn't met before, like Chiffon didn't know who he was. Is like, he hasn't seen his daughter. Or I was thinking of it in terms of her perspective because I assumed that he had helped raise her, but he, you know, she just, you know, she was taken away, or like he was banished or just thrown out before she could was old enough to remember.
Yeah.
But now we learn that he didn't even get to touch them.
Yeah, like this guy really, we see in a flashback, like younger Big Mom just talking to him, and it's like, yeah, my children are born now. You have served your purpose. Get the fuck out. And I just want, and then like we see Pound here, like really sad. He's like, no, like those are my kids. I want to be with them. Like I want to get to know them, but they just forcibly make him leave. And like man, this is really fucked up. This is seriously fucked up to do that to somebody.
Those two panels, like, really crystallized what is happening and like what this guy's situation is.
Yeah,
this
is what we've been looking for this guy. Yeah, exactly.
Because we had all the pieces there. It's like, he's a guy who's down on his luck, you know, but he's a sort of schlub. He's not very strong. Nobody cares about him, but he's like you know, and his children and all that. And it's like those two panels add to it so much that I'm actually like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is, like, terrible that he's gonna die right now.
And I particularly like, it's a small detail, but he's wearing a crown in that flashback, so clearly, like, being one of Big Mom's husbands gives you, like, a great deal of, like, status and power, and, like, but as soon as she's done with you, she'll fucking kick you to the curb. And I just want to say that, like, men, this is why you don't give your seed to a disgusting succubus. You can't trust a hoe. You can't trust a woman. Do not let them touch your seed. And that is why Pound went on to become the original Proto-MGTOW. My fucking hero. I love him. He would never lay his hands on a filthy woman. What a hero. What a hero. Don't do it, guys. Protect your nuts.
I wasn't sure whether the crown was like... you know, Big Mom's the queen and he's the king. I thought it was like he was royalty and that's why she slept with him.
Oh, maybe. And
it's like,
we don't really know his
you,
history.
Get out of here. Because he seems like,
man?
He seems like that crown suits him as like, you know, he's had things handed to him. And then, you know, he got with Big Mom and it was a mistake. She stole his children and presumably... stole whatever power he had in his kingdom, and then he was thrown into a fucking forest.
You know what?
And just
I was
stay
gonna
there
say
forever.
at least she didn't make him pay alimony, like what happened in real life when a woman steals your seed and produces children against her will. But if in fact she married him for his political connections and extracted his power and wealth through that means, then she kind of did steal his income and his typical, evil succubus of the modern age. What do you know, guys? What do you know?
By the way,
And then-
Big Mom looks
Yeah.
fucking hot right there, dude.
Oh, have you seen the
Slim.
Yeah, she does look more slim. Have you seen the drawings that Oda has done in
I think he
What's
has
it
shown
called?
her like in between.
in an SBS? He drew a Big Mom at like 28 and then at like 30 something, and yeah, she looked pretty great at 28. She really did. She's a
And
hot
she's
piece.
fucking got real fat.
I mean, she's like
somewhere.
60 something now, so I guess she just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Hey.
Dude, do you think she's pregnant like right now? Like this whole arc, has she been pregnant? Because she's pregnant like a lot, like all the time.
Dude, that's no excuse.
I'm just saying. But anyway, like, and this whole thing wraps up like really beautifully. Whereas we see Pound just like there's a little moment of him just like fixing his fucking tie as he's just like, "Yep, here I did my part." He's just being
Yeah.
a fucking classy gentleman going out of the world as fucking
Well-
Oven is gonna fucking assassinate him.
I don't think it was so much that, oh, I did my part, more than he's straightening his tie, because it was like, he wanted to he wanted to be smart for his daughter's, like, wedding, like, he wanted to be, like,
Oh,
like,
you're right.
he's a,
Oh,
it's like,
God.
my baby girl, congratulations on your wedding, I'm so happy for you, and then slice, like, oh, God, no. Like, this
Just
one
fucked up,
chapter
man.
has changed
Yeah.
Pound from, like, I wonder what he's gonna do, to, like, oh, I really love this guy, and
I
I'm
fucking
sad.
love this guy now. That's what you do. That's that's what Oda does. He like sets us up with a character. We kind of get to know who they are and their story, and then he'll throw a flashback. Even one that's literally 2 small panels on a page, and it'll completely recontextualize the character and just make that shit hit home all at once. It's a devastating technique, and goddamn was it effective. This is a great chapter. This is really good. I never thought
baby is
I'd give a
crying.
fuck about him. Yeah, and Pez is all sad because his Grampy just got fucked. Question though. Oh, and I actually really like the whole angle throughout this of like Chiffon like kind of just like, I wonder who that man is, like not knowing who he is as he's like projecting all these feelings that she like can't hear. Really, God, it really touches me. Do you think he is literally dead? Because I will make a case. I think that he will live. I think that we will see him again.
The thing is, Oven is holding his blade in such a way and swinging it in such a way that I feel like he's fucking decapitated. So I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, then there's like a thud sound afterwards. So it's like his head
This-
fell off and
This
thudded on the ground.
is One Piece though, and we do not see the body. Like I think this
Well,
man.
they wouldn't show a fucking decapitated head at a moment like this. Like even
I don't
even
know.
something like Berserk.
Well, but you've got to admit,
You
this
would cut
is
away.
very One Piece to have something like this happen and the character turns out to be alive later. Now, I think this man has much less likelihood of being alive than Pedro. Pedro is like more likely to be alive in my mind, and maybe I'll be totally wrong.
Well,
but I think
you
they'll
know,
both be alive.
the thing about
TBH.
Pedro is that he may come back. It's what you would expect. But I think
Yeah.
with something like this, I don't think Pound is coming back. He's a minor character, and this was the end of like his relevance. And he, made it like got all the backstory that you would need to care about him out of the way, and then that's the end. I feel like One Piece is getting closer and closer to like a big war where important characters are all, like the stakes are
right.
being risen with,
Yep.
the
Yep,
Yonkos being involved. I feel like character deaths are going to start to become more prevalent and more permanent than, they were before Ace. If
I'd
you know
like
what
to
I
see
mean.
that. I'd like, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying, but I honestly don't think the tone of One Piece is really going to change. I think that
not
we've
drastically,
really.
but like things like this where it's an implied beheading.
We'll tell you what. At the end of this arc, let's reconvene and let's assess: did Pedro die, and did Pound die as well? If they did die, I would say that you're absolutely right, and One Piece is shifting tonally to a more serious, with higher stakes. but I really think that they will both be alive because Oda just loves to have like big celebratory moments at the end of arcs where like everything turns out great. Like he really likes that shit. So for those reasons, I suspect, I just predict that they will both be alive. But we'll see. I don't know, man. We'll just have to wait and see.
I don't know what I would prefer, but I know that I don't mind
want them both
either
dead.
one.
I definitely want them both dead. I think that would be much better writing, but I do think they will both be alive. I'm not like approving of Oda here. I'm just saying that that's what I think is going to happen.
Well, I know that it's better writing, but sometimes I do like seeing like characters who didn't deserve to die, like be like, oh, I'm hobbling along. When it's something like
sure.
every single good guy from Skypiea, like all the what are they called?
They all survived. Every
single one of the good guys,
lived.
but all the bad guys are just dead. That was annoying because
they're not even necessarily dead. We just don't see them again. I bet they're alive too, like canonically. Oda just hasn't addressed it as far as
it was just. I mean, yeah, like those characters, I didn't even know their names, and it was like Wiper was the only important one.
That's right.
And the only one with any sort of character, and it was like, I don't know. Why?
And I didn't even like Wiper that much. The best thing about Wiper is his connection to Calgara, and that is legitimately great. And Calgara and Mont Blanc Norland function as the surrogates for Mont Blanc Cricket or Flip.
By the way,
Norland
I'm gonna challenge your assertion that Skypiea is the best arc on the basis that I don't like any of those characters in that clan.
It's so
boring.
If you ignore all the bad parts, then every arc is the best arc. So my logic is flawless.
Enies Lobby is way better.
Oh, you fucking bleach fag. You and your Enies Lobby bullshit. You fucking assholes. That was a big meme on A back in the day. It was like anyone whose favorite One Piece arc was like Enies Lobby was like a bleach fag, coming over to One Piece.
I think of it
as
as
for the true One Piece OGs,
Water 7
like
plus Enies Lobby, if that makes a difference. But
that's definitely better, because Water 7 has a lot of great flavor that Enies Lobby has less of.
You can't really have just one of those. I don't think of them as like half an... Like the thing with Usopp and Luffy fighting and all that.
That's essential.
Essential
fucking
shit.
essential. Yeah, of course.
So I think of that as the Enies Lobby arc.
Well, I mean, if you're counting that, then you have to count Jaya as part of Skypiea, and Jaya might just be the actual best series of chapters in all of One Piece.
You're right. You're right.
Jaya is so good. Jaya is
unbelievably
good. You get to meet Mont Blanc Cricket. You get to learn about... You see the Shadow at the very beginning. One Piece has that fucking iconic moment, which is the first, actual part of Skypiea, where, all of a sudden, they get to, the beginning of Skypiea, and you see, the thing where all the characters are looking up in the sky in horror, and there's a little excerpt from some real life author, I think, that's it is said that nothing in this world is truly impossible if depending on your perspective. And then we see a giant ship falling from the sky on top of the fucking Straw Hats at the end of the chapter. What an iconic fucking moment and a start to that arc. And then all of Jaya happens, we meet Blackbeard, and the real dreams of men will never die. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And of course, everything to do with the scene of bullying the Straw Hats and Bellamy and Sarkis and Nami and Zoro and Luffy getting beat up and not giving a fuck because it's not worth their fucking time. God
all right,
damn
Jaya
it.
is better than Skypiea. How about that?
And right before when they leave Jaya and are about to go to Skypiea, we see Doflamingo and Bartholomew Kuma for the first time and learn more about... We see Marie Joa for the first time. We learn about the world government. And we might see Red-Haired Shanks again at that time. I can't remember. But we do see the Shichibukai for the first time, and my God, is that some juicy... Oh, it's the best. Oh, it's good. Very excellent.
I'm thinking we could easily do a podcast on previous arcs, and people have been asking about that. Will we do that?
Yeah.
And the reason we haven't is because time investment.
It's just time. That's the only reason.
But we might be able to make the time if you pledge to a Patreon that we may or may not be making.
We will be making a Patreon. I can't guarantee it'll be up by the time this episode airs, but yes, I have decided, Gib, and I think that you're on board. We need a Patreon for...
Yes.
Oh, God, I burped. For the podcast. And there is no bones about it.
And we could do bonus episodes would be previous arcs we would talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the good shit right
the good
there,
shit.
my dude.
That's the gated content. You know what I'm saying? It's a pirate's life for me.
Yeah.
Do not steal
Do not
the bun.
pirate the content, please. Don't listen to our podcast. Just give us some money. Yes. Okay. So that will be soon, very soon. Maybe like next week. I'm making a little time for myself this week, so maybe I can just spare. It won't take long to make it either. Okay. No need to go into the details, but like, yes, that'll be happening soon, folks. So keep an eye out, and we'll have to think of ideas, ways to incentivize people to pledge and whatnot. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
But anyway, to wrap up this chapter, there's just like one page left at the very end here. We cut back to the Straw Hats on the Sunny, and they are fleeing from Big Mom on her happy little slime slug boy, very adorable candy man, and they're just like, yeah, she's close.
There's
like,
a lot of
we gotta
ships.
make
There's
the
a
cake.
lot of there's a lot of Mom, and they're gonna have to rendezvous with Beji at some point. And that's
The best
gonna
thing
be
about this
the
arc
thing.
That might be the end of this arc. You know, it might be just when she eats the cake. So it might be sooner than I thought. Maybe there won't be a big battle like I predicted. But the best part about this,
I think to facilitate the meeting of the cake, I think
more like
Germa,
facilitate, because this is a very silly chapter. You know what I'm saying?
the Germa Kingdom is gonna have to like take care of all those other ships or something. There's
Right.
gonna be a clash there.
They got to be involved for sure. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, but I think if they're involved, that'll pretty much wrap up everything. Oh, except the fight between Luffy and Katakuri. That has to go somewhere. So that is a big
Luffy's
thread.
still fucking around with mirrors, right?
Yep, he's just running around avoiding guys, and he's thinking about, I gotta beat him at his full power so I can level up. So there's still definitely stuff left of this arc before we wrap it up. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. I think it could be a matter of like 5 chapters till this arc is like done. It could be that quick. We'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
Oh, and I was gonna say my favorite thing about this last chapter is look at that little pudding face. She's like, we're gonna do it. Puff, little puff of determination. And she
I like
gives the
those
fuck
puffs.
you. Me too.
Those exhales through the nose puffs.
She's being like Sanji because she's blowing dank vape clouds. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine
cute.
if like if the 4Kids dub of One Piece was made today, instead of changing it to a lollipop, they would change it to a vape.
Oh, because vapes are like more legal or something. Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be wonderful. Please, Oda, make that happen in the new edition. Maybe when Oda, like when One Piece finishes and they make like a One Piece
And
Kai, it'll be vape. It'll be a vape in the West.
It'll be a vape, and it'll for some reason still be 4Kids doing it.
Yeah, they'll bring 4Kids back. We should never have taken it away. They're the only ones who understood the genius by turning poison needles into suction cups. Yes,
It'll
they're
be the same
boys.
like yayo, but like orchestrated.
Whoa, that sounds epic. Imagine them trying to fit verses in for all the members of the Straw Hats right now. Her name's Robin. She likes to dig. Frankie is big as a fridge. Also, Brooke's here. Yeah. Oh, it's good.
Brooke
I can't
is
wait.
a skeleton man. He's got no skin. That's okay. This is a
Excellent.
rap. That's
Oh,
a
that's
rap.
good.
This is a rap. This
Dude,
is the end of the
imagine Brooke.
episode.
Imagine Brooke in like canon One Piece, like in the anime, like the Japanese version. He canonically plays the One Piece rap for all the little kids. Oh my god.
Oh, because he's.
What if they
he had-
retcon? He's the one who wrote the One Piece rap. What if it was him? It could happen. It could
Dude,
happen.
that's Homestuck.
It's the
Dude,
Soul
that's-
King's like. That's Homestuck. It is Homestuck. That is like the like that's his final goal. Like fuck Laboon. His real goal is to make the ultimate song, and it's the One Piece rap. Oh yes, we need 4Kids. Also,
Dude,
just
4
a side
kids like
note here.
Homestuck. Oh, it's all
Putting his
connected.
pose there is really, really cute, and like I would want to like use it for a thumbnail or something in the thing. But the thing is that fucking piece of shit like One Piece logo they put at the end of every chapter in Shonen Jump is like covering up like most of her body and her big old tits, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? Can we please get a One Piece like without those? That would be really good.
Are they like they're like put?
They're definitely
on,
added afterward, like on top of artwork, because they're just like thrown on top of like some dude's face and like half
Are
of
they
Pudding's
put
body.
on top of like the Shonen like weekly manga magazine, right?
Yeah.
If these
Like,
came out
everything
in a
running weekly.
volume, would they not have that?
Oh, you know, if you buy the volumes, shit, do I have the volumes around? That's probably true though. That would probably do it. But I don't know. But in any case, that's enough analysis for now. We can address these and other pressing issues next week when there's a new chapter, hopefully. Anything else to say? Are we all done?
We're all done. Okay,
sounds good. Pudding's hot. Love the 3 eyes. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.